Yeah, the other options are. I mean, would they go for the PL? Hmm,
It's a Shad hero. It's not
yeah,
impossible.
there he is.
There's the watermelon boy. So Bait will be getting the Tidehunter. You could decide to lane the Razor versus that, though. Then again, you could go some other route. If you decide to go for PL here, I think it would be really bad versus the Puck Phoenix Tidehunter. Not gonna work
Hmm.
out.
No, I don't think so either. The question is, I mean, you could move the Razor onto proper carry style and just build a ton of attack speed, and you already have your range carry in hand. But no, we are doing Ursa.
Ursa Bear will be here. Good versus the Phoenix, good versus the Tide. Doesn't care about the coil. If you are in your enrage, you don't care about the sleep
Hmm.
or the Fiend's Grip either. So in that regard, he's good. You already have the Razor to deal with the TA, so you didn't have to think about killing the TAs. You can take away your damage, and that should be enough. I really like this last pick. I think it
Yeah,
is great. And Team Tickles were missing on that Roche Taker. They already have problems with taking down towers, but the Venge helps there slightly. But Ursa slays the Roche, and I think that's far more important.
I think so as well, especially the fact that he's not necessarily waylaid by the Puck or the Bane. Of course, if Bait gets to start off the fight in a way where none of them die in the first couple of seconds, Ursa might actually be in very deep in a situation where he's going to get kited a ton. But the rest of his core is also quite tanky, quite good at chasing down people. Every single time, I just feel like I have to say, yeah, Bait might like damages. They don't play this properly. And this time, Violent, we saw him show up early on the TA before. We saw him show up early on the Phantom Lancer as well. Please make it a 3 for 3. And then I can still definitely stand behind Bait's draft here. Even though, once again, not the easiest to execute.
It is not the easiest to execute. They're assumed from your talk, right?
Yeah. I
I'm gonna
mean,
back you
not
up.
necessarily with like all of the brain behind it, but certainly all of the heart. After that performance in game two, and just in general the way they've been playing, like their insistence on their own style, I'm enjoying it, and I'd like to see another series of that. And in order for that to happen, unfortunately, Tickles will need to bite the dust. That's
Mary
it.
bites the dust.
Yeah.
Poor guy. They're just bullying Mary. There's no doubt about it. To be honest, the reason why Bait won that game, remember Mary going for that. Oh, they see Violent? Yes, they do. They're going in with the
Oh yeah.
stun. The blood grenade will connect. They were waiting for the glimpse to come back up, and okay, Violent is just a genius, man. So he gets himself away. But back to my point. That Mary TP, when the Dazzle went to go for him and Bait won a
Hmm.
fight, that is when the game really changed.
Yes. Yeah. The first fight they won was because they recognized that Adzantick needed to not be there, and they got that handed to them on a silver platter. And then after that, they just kept going for ads.
Yep, they did. After that, they became stronger. That's kind of how it goes. Dendi again, he's gonna be rushing on the Witchblade. He messed the block a little bit, but like a real mid laner, he'll be getting in front of those creeps again with the orb, and the wave will be exactly at the middle.
Yep. This is a bit of a rough matchup for the Puck. Like ads should be able to hold his own here just based on the fact that he has a ginormous amount of HP, has a ginormous amount of armor, and the Puck will not be able to take many hits from this big beast.
It always goes that way when it's a Puck versus these tanky mid laners. The Kunkas, the DKs, the Primal Beasts.
Yeah.
The list just goes on. Top lane, Ursa, he's gonna be enfeebled by the Bane, but I still see him as a favorite in this lane in terms of threatening the Tyrant especially.
Yeah, but it's gonna take a little while to build up, right? Because the first couple of levels of the you need at least 2 levels in the Fury swipes before you start even becoming a threat for the Tidehunter. And before that, you are very much on the back foot versus him, as far as I'm concerned. So here, you know who's on the back foot?
Mary,
Yeah.
poor guy. Fire Spirit's level 1, they just don't reduce the attack speed all that much, and I think he actually missed it there on the Razor, so either way would have died, and that's gonna be Mary dying once again. Poor guy, he just cannot get a break here. Shad on the top lane, he is currently losing in terms of CS, but that's to be expected. It's when you start to apply pressure to the Tide is when you're gonna be coming out ahead, and Dendi doing well in the mid lane so far.
Yeah, for now. I mean, he is level 3 right now, so that brings the trample up to a place where these creep rates are going to start falling over very fast indeed. That's definitely a little bit of a turning point for any Primal Beast mid lane. And the thing that I'm wondering about, and I want to know your opinion on this as well, what would you have thought about putting the Phoenix top and the Bane bottom instead? Because this is the TA versus the Razor.
Uh, I personally wouldn't like to play a Phoenix versus the Disruptor lane, because you have way too low in terms of armor, right? The Bane can stand his ground and fight the Disruptor and the Ursa. The Phoenix cannot. It might have been a little bit better for the TA lane, but it would have been devastating for the Tide lane. So I think this is... I'd rather play it like this.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about it like that as well, but it is very clear then to everybody here that Violent is just expected to make do, and he's going to have to come back, especially when things like this happen.
He's not having a nice time. StoneBank is having a worse time. He's gonna be caught inside of the kinetic field, so Shad can easily run him down. You're in the woods, and there is a hungry bear there hunting for you. He just wants meat. It is gonna be StoneBank that picks up the healing Lotus. It's not gonna be there for StoneBank, and Mary does die on the other side of the map as well. Team Tickles, their start to game 3 is amazing.
Lane's looking really good. I love that it's just down to the drafts and the fact that the TA can't really go anywhere that's going to be a good lane for her at all, unless you want to try the laner up versus the Ursa, which would be creative to say the least.
We'll see if it can work out for now. It's not working out that well. He only has 10 CS though. To be honest, the Ursa is not CSing that well either. That chase onto StoneBank, in the end he did get the kill, but of course it did cost him a lot of creeps.
And in general, if you get, for example, a Nightmare here for the Bane, he hasn't put the point in it yet, but you can always say, alright, and now we stop slapping my Tidehunter around for a little bit, see if you can get some of the Fury swipe stacks to cool off. Disengage there. So for the Tidehunter, for the momentum of this top lane, yeah, this Bane is integral.
StoneBank is level 4. He has 23 CS, meaning with this kind of a start, his Meteor Hammer is going to be coming out fairly soon. He doesn't want to buy the boots, which versus the Ursa might come to bite him back.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it works out. For now, it's working out well.
Yeah, lots of trust in your Bane, right?
As he should. They're pulling the wave. Shad was thinking about going forward, but he has already lost so many CS to the chases, and that glimpse from Dukalis, it will just slow down StoneBank a little bit. Really won't stop his plan of getting the creeps next to his tower and farming them without any pressure whatsoever. And guess what, Kips? Dendi is winning the mid lane slightly, but still winning.
Which is quite impressive as far as I'm concerned. And situations like this one, he's just making the most of them. He is going to be facing creeps under tower every single time. He can't push as hard and with as little consequence as Adz does, so he's going to have to make the most of it by also pulling his camp at the same time. And that's paying dividends for him.
Primal Beast is rotating to the bottom, and this is gonna be huge if he can get some kills, and Violent will be the first casualty. Ursa is dropping low as well. Shad, can they get a return kill? Yes, Dukalis was going for a pull, and the glimpse was a little bit too late. So it is gonna be Bait equalizing this this move, and to be honest, much better for Bait as they didn't commit their mid laner to rotate.
Yeah, true. And of course, an Ursa does need to get that Battle Fury up in order to actually start farming fast, whereas TA really only needs levels. That said, of course, she is quite a bit further into the dumpster than he is right now. There's really just some legs sticking out. Violence not having fun today.
Yeah, he's not. He's just being shut down over and over again. Dendi, he does find the DD rune, didn't pick it up in time, so Dukalis isn't going to be taking all that much damage. Goes for the kinetic field. He wants to be annoying Dendi as much as possible. The coil will get used, pulverized. They still find him immediately. The sleep is there, and he dodges the magic missile. What can this guy do? Well, he can't survive as he gets himself to the high ground. Oh, yes, he can. He's just way too good for Team Tickles to kill. Now going for the Watcher as well. Maybe thinking about turning this one around. He doesn't have the coil, but definitely has that DD, so will be doing a massive amount of damage to Manin. On the other side, he's not as elusive as the puck. NARMAN dropping low, Dendi coming in. He will decide not to go for the kill right now. NARMAN, he has been found. He does take the Watcher back. One more hit is needed from Dendi coming in with the orb, and there's one more hit. He needs two. Sticks were used. NARMAN will be dropping down. Dendi outplaying his enemies again.
He is, but StoneBank is going to run into the rest of them here. Actually, there's several help troops coming in here, as unfortunately Stoneman does get glimpsed back. I think that's going to cost Dukalis his life.
Yep, the Adzantick did steal the Wisdom Rune. The thing is, Mary did steal the Wisdom Rune back. So overall, it's good for the side of Bait, especially because their supports are going to be getting the experience, whilst only one of the Team Tickle supports will be getting his.
And so far so good, really. They're balancing on the edge of slipping further into trouble at the end of the laning stage here, but it hasn't happened yet. And Dendi with some really fast moves. You can really see that he's used to several supports being in his lane at once.
Shad being aggressive, and Shad is gonna pay with his life because of it. He has the enrage, gonna be going for StoneBank, sending the enemies away. The help is coming. Team Tickles are smoked up. Just hold on, brother, and he will. Adzantick now running in. How dare you touch my carry? He's ready to smash you into the ground. The pulverize not even needed. They use the glimpse, but only to not allow Bait to bury their Bane on their home turf. Bait, they are gonna be losing the Bane, but they do not kill the Ursa.
And they also do not lose Data Hunter, which I think is very important just before level 6 here, because once a level 6 has arrived, he can actually start properly threatening the tower with the Meteor Hammer, as well as the threat of the Ravage in his pocket if they want to peel him off the tower. So that's, once again, probably the best possible outcome for Bait.
The TA did hit level 6, so now laning versus the Razor is going to be slightly easier. Of course, we're seeing the difference in terms of net worth between the two heroes. Razor, of course, coming out ahead, but this is a TA. As time progresses, Violent is going to be getting more and more farm and should be fighting his way towards the top of the network chart, where it's only Team Tickles at the top for now.
Yeah, but the differences for now are pretty minimal. And once again, the kind of thing that you can expect when one of the teams has just a little bit more ease of execution. Yeah, Razor's going to go straight for a BKB. That's, I mean, we've seen Violent will need to get involved at some point, and that is going to be a risky point in the game for Bait.
Yeah, for sure. Though he has done it successfully in both the first two games, even though in the first one they lost. Violent is up on the hill. They will see his career. They know where he is. He has to run. Does he understand that he's being targeted, hiding in the shadows? Violent, and they don't know that he's there.
Reads that. Well, I want to say perfectly, but it's not quite over yet. They're giving him the old in-out-in.
Yeah, but the TPs are coming in, so Violent, has he baited him in enough? The silence from the puck doesn't matter, the puck gets stunned up, boom, destroys both of them. Yes, we do want bonuses, Tamanin could be next, but the coil keeping the Razor in place. Now with the Sunray Mary, he cannot do enough damage, boom will survive. Team Tickles, they get 2 of the cores. Really, really huge engagement for them.
Yeah, they next leveled him there. Really did. And that means that this bottom tower, well, Boom might not be able to take it this round.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Mary, he got out. He probably now reads that there is a ward there. This ward that was placed during the smoke really did come in handy. Violent is back, uses the trap onto NARMAN. The Enfeeble will be there. The stun does connect, and Adzantick, he decides, you're on your own, bro.
Yeah, and I think especially the threat of the Phoenix being here as well is a problem for him. All of those slows really hinder his damage output.
Bait, they are approaching level 6s on the Phoenix, a little bit far away from it by Stamanen, but the supports on the other side, Disruptor will probably be the first support to hit his level 6. So these big team fight ultis are going to be the first ones that we see on the supports. Stamanen going to be caught, he gets the sleep onto the Disruptor, a couple of more hits from Dirsa, nice attempt from Stamanen, not successful.
Not this time. Yeah, full level on the Fury swipes will do that to a man. And I do think that the level 6 coming in so early for the Disruptor, he's got it right now, is huge in terms of Dendi not having a free game. We've seen him being hunted before, but that was not quite to this level where you just have a spell that you can drop on top of him and he is automatically out.
Both Dendi and StoneBank are going to be in trouble. Usually this Disruptor, once he gets level 6, they probably can't kill the Tide anyways as he's too tanky, but with the Ursa that's not the case. So I think the level 6 on the Disruptor, it really does hinder Bait's ability to play. And it's not the type of ulti that, oh, we're gonna force it out and we're gonna play. No, it's way too low of a cooldown.
Yep, you're going to face it every single fight, and you're just going to have to position in such a way that at the very least you don't have both of these heroes caught in it. Dendi and StoneBank have been very good at not getting into each other's way, but this is what we're talking about.
By Dendi, there's a haste on the Primal Beast. They are not getting out of that one alive. Mary could be in trouble as well as the onslaught. Adzantick is going forward. The egg was used. That's a nice spell that you're going to be forcing out, but at least Bait, they don't lose anything else. But there it is. You called it out, Kips, and we're seeing the power items. They're looking towards Violent on the bottom lane, immediately TPing in. The haste coming in from Adzantick. The Tidehunter in the vicinity. The Ravage will get used, stopping the onslaught, but everybody dodged it apart from the Primal Beast. Violent going next to his traps. There will be a sentry being placed. They want to get rid of the traps immediately. He does use all of them. Dukalis dropping low. Meteor Hammer will be dropping on his head. No, he will die beforehand. Team Tickles, they're bringing in multiple heroes, but the Puck is coming in. This is too deep. This is too deep. Adzantick is going to be silenced up immediately. And the stun on the Puck. Adzantick, is he tanking up? With the coil being on him, he cannot break it. The damage will be more than sufficient. While he does so much damage from these melt strikes. Minus armor in the works. And NARMAN next on the menu. He will burn down to the Fire Spirits of Mary. And Team Tickles, they have overstayed their welcome here in the bottom lane.
Violent just deciding to cut through the middle of the enemy troops instead of trying to circle around really puts them in a position where they can restore. Like this cut right here, just straight through the Disruptor. This actually enables them to get their grouping back together around this Phoenix, and now the teleport of that Vengeful Spirit doesn't do as much. I mean, it could have looked different, I think, if you get more damage out into Violent there as well, but instead they sort of baited themselves into this counter engagement where Dendi gets an absolutely beautiful coil of him. Violent just gets the clean house.
The second that Dendi came back to life, it was the time to bail, and they at that exact time went full on forward. It was just a huge mistake that Bait were sure to punish.
I mean, it's in the name, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. NARMAN, he picks up a Wisdom Rune, he stacks the Ancient Camp for his Ursa, who's at the top of the network chart and has the Battle Fury. And please, no pauses. Shad, do not restart your computer.
Exactly. Like, under your Windows has enough levels. And I mean, that's the worst about it, isn't it? Like, you get one of those awful moments where you just want to restart and it decides to install 35 updates and you're like, okay, fine, but that was all of them, right? And then the next morning it's just going to hit you with it again. We're like, oopsie whoopsie, we had 11 more for you, sorry.
No, it's not, Gibbs. You know what the thing is? The Dota players never turn off their PCs. They never turn off Dota at all as they're farming hours in the game. So this is what happens when you have to restart it at some point, and then you're like, oops. So no, it wasn't Microsoft's fault. It was Shad.
It was Shad after all. I mean, but it's the perfect crime because nobody's ever going to suspect him of it.
Well, that perfect crime almost cost him the first game. So, yeah. One of his teammates said a bad word to him, like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell am I doing? Restart. What now, huh? You better shut up or I'm gonna ruin everything. And it is gonna seem like an accident. Team Tickles are 2k ahead though. They're still in a decent position when it comes to net worth, but the TA is fighting her way towards the top as Violent didn't have a good lane, but a game is turning better for him at the moment.
Yeah, he's finishing off the Desolator right now, and it coincides perfectly with Dendi having his Blink Dagger, well, nearly delivered into the hands of Adzantick, actually. That would have been a bit of a shame, and mass TPs to the top lane.
They really want this Tidehunter first. Mary will be on the menu, goes to the side, goes for the egg as well. They should have more than enough attack speed to deal with it, and they bring StoneBank back as well. He's looking very much dead. Nobody coming in to assist him. Boom, running in. He has the Eye of the Storm and ready to bring StoneBank down. He tries to use the Meteor Hammer unsuccessfully, and the Ursa is there to slash him in two. StoneBank gives even more gold there to Team Tickles, and very nice mass TP. Does work out wonders for him. Straight into the pit.
Straight into the pit, straight into the Ursa with Battle Fury, Yasha on top as well. That's going to be a nice and fast SNY, which the status resistance in this game, we were talking before about how if he enrages one, he can deal with so much that Bait's gonna have to throw at him. He's doubling down.
Oh, Coil onto the Primal Beast. He pretty much doesn't care on Adzantick. He has upper only level 1, but more than enough to fight, and going in as his teammates are coming over. Ursa going to try for the puck, not gonna be happening, and the TA gonna be glimpsed back. No way in hell that you're surviving this. Maybe he kills NARMAN and does manage to bring somebody down with him, but it is a small price to pay. Team Tickles more than happy about this, as Boom is running forward. He's the one with the Aegis, he's the one with the BKB, he is the strongest on the map.
Very much like that position of the Aegis here. Even though Razor traditionally, if you die and come back, most of that is wasted. But on the other hand, in this game, you are going to be the one that wants to be taking most of the punches. And having an extra mana pool to empty, having an extra HP bar to empty is just what is going to do it exactly for his team. If not, you know, for himself. You're not going to be able to make any cool, like, haha, I'm back from the dead, and now I kill you all kind of play.
Being nasty. You actually did mimic Bane's voice with that one quite nicely. Of course, he's a little bit more like and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's enjoying it more. I was not enjoying that.
Oh, that's weird. Anyways, though. StoneBank is level 12. The Ravage level 2 is ready. He's gonna have the blink.
Yeah.
That is the way to come back into the game. But Kips,
Aegis
being on Tickles, how do you come back? I mean, this is a TA lineup. You're the ones that need the Roche.
Yeah, and the other disappointment here, while we're talking about StoneBank, and I know that there has been an Ursa on the lane, it's been pretty hard to do what you're supposed to do with the Meteor Hammer, but that top tower is still standing. It's half HP. It needs to go, Brodsky.
Still there. That is the power of the Ursa versus the Tidehunter. Usually it's the Tide, it just doesn't care. It comes to the tower and kills it. Versus the Ursa, it's a completely different story. As Phoenix comes over to slow this push down, he might die because of what he's now going for. Okay, he has the Sunray over the cliff. TP out, easy.
He is out of this world, but exactly when you have this much information, like, I know they're basically on top of the gate, but you can see them walk over towards the gate. As this top tower, yeah, I guess it only needs a little nudge anymore. He did enough work on the creep wave.
Oh, but Tidehunter doesn't want to commit all that much. He's just gonna be coming in with the Meteor Hammer, and StoneBank will finally bring the tier 1 on top down. Nice influx of gold for himself, for his team. But the Ursa is so far ahead of everybody else. He's 2k ahead of the TA. TA should be the fastest farmer in the game.
To be fair, she is bringing in the Blink Dagger right now. If my eyes do not deceive me, and they do not. But here's... Do you see the positioning from Dukalis?
Yeah, very aggressive. He does find the Tidehunter, and the Tidehunter is very much that the coil will be used. Can the Ursa finish him off? You see that he gets the Ravage off, but over the enrage of the Ursa. Now trying to go for the egg. Adzantick, does he have enough attack speed? He needs 6 hits, and the egg will explode before they kick in. Now Adzantick is the one in trouble. NARMAN doesn't have the swap. We already used it in that fight. It is a 2-for-2. Still an Aegis on Boom. Running in. It will be expiring in 2 minutes. He pops the BKB. Going for Violent. Doesn't have the static link, but doesn't really need it. He's just going in with the damage. The blood grenade cannot slow him down as he has the BKB, and there's going to be a pause again.
Basically, this toll is in 183 by the time I was 13, so yeah.
Keeps
but
big.
I've seen it. They were calling me ma'am on the streets. Like, ma'am, do you want a sample of our instant mashed potatoes? I don't know.
Like I'm 13 and everybody is telling me ma'am. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That is fun. Okay, you're now tall, but you're not
Mate, read
overwhelmingly
the
tall, I guess.
pimples. Read the
Yeah,
greasy.
yeah. Overall, the gold lead doesn't change much after that fight. The Ravage coming out really did change a lot. Ursa not popping the enrage when going for the Tidehunter was a big deal, because I think there was again a sleep, or maybe it was the lag that prevented the Ursa from doing the damage. But I think it was the sleep for sure. Mary in some trouble. He will die. He would have
Yeah,
died to the wave, to the terror wave, or the glimpse. It's just what came to him first.
I do want to point out here, though, by the way, that Mary is going to be integral to surviving that static storm. Like, especially when you're talking about a tanky target like the Tidehunter, the percentage-based heal coming out from the Sunray is going to do a lot of work in terms of keeping him alive, especially once the Tidehunter starts itemizing into more defensive items. And he's going to go for the Halberd, very much recognizing that evasion in this game is absolutely going to give him much more than straight-up HP. There is so much physical damage on this lineup.
It's an Ursa counter item. I would
Yeah,
also
as
like
well.
to see a Yules, and Mary is going for it as well. And I really like that. You not only keep yourself safe, but you can also purge the overpower from the Ursa, which is quite big for his damage output. I like it. I think they're itemizing awesomely currently on bait to survive the Ursa attacks.
I think so as well. And it would be even better if at the, well, hopefully somewhere before the end of the game, but if they can actually get to the Wind Waker over on the Phoenix, because that's going to be one of those ultimate saves from the Disruptor Static Storm. One of the few things that will actually still counter the Static Storm, even once it's Aghanims based.
So bait, two of their heroes in a smoke. We really haven't seen the Fiend's grip in this game, but he's gonna try to use it now with a TA in front. Boom would be a great target if they can kill him, but doesn't seem very likely on the top lane. However, Ursa could die.
Yeah, this Bane is already basically past him. I think they got him in a fight.
He's
Shad shows.
surrounded, but the enrage will
Wait, the
get
backup is
used.
coming.
What the hell? That's too deep. Shad, he has the BKB. We might have to pop it. He's gonna go for it. Then they caught the puck with the blink, smashed into the ground. Dendi is surviving still, but the static storm will be there. He's gonna get that blink away, the glimpse. You are coming back into death, my friend. And Dukalis gets the kill. The sleep on Razor didn't go for the BKB. StoneBank trying to get himself through the portal. Not going to be happening. Even with Enfeeble, Boom still does way too much damage. And two heroes will be going down. Bait, they stood no chance in that engagement.
Yeah, but they also definitely decided to bail as soon as they realized that they were not the ones. This is it. Violent. Violent's gonna die here.
Yep, he's in a lot of trouble. We're looking at the replay, as we don't want more death on our screen, but we're gonna be getting so much of it. In the right bottom corner, you're gonna be seeing Violent going down, and on your screen, you're seeing StoneBank being ran down as he was in the previous fight.
And I definitely appreciate Violent's tendency to always cut one more creep wave, right? That's done his team a whole lot of good, but you gotta realize that you can't overstay after that. And he was just a little greedy on the one more camp there. And now, StoneBank, I mean, you're not going to get to walk this one off.
Yeah, you're definitely not. He does have the Ravage. Will be going for it. Connects on the Ursa, but the Enrage was there. He wants to kill the Venge. Not gonna be happening. Having the great healing load is there. Gets 400 HP back, and NARMAN survives. But the Tidehunter uses his ulti and still goes down without any chances of survival. I really think that Ravage was a mistake.
Yes. It feels like they're losing their grip on the narrative a little bit here. Normally, when we've seen Bait slowly go down this route where they're losing in the mid game, it's been slowly, but this has quickly escalated into a 10k lead for Team Tickles. And Bait is not even losing these cores in attempts to set the score right. This was not a violent death in service of, you know, trying to win a team fight. This was just a fight they already deemed lost, where after they lose two heroes separated on the map.
Fuels is there on the Phoenix. Tidehunter, he changed his mind. He's going to be going for an Aghanim Scepter to get the sleep on the Razor. The swap out will be there. NARMAN, he puts himself in harm's way, and the Phoenix Grip will keep him in place long enough to get the kill. Blink into the backlines, and the Phoenix dies without using the egg. That is the big deal. The silence was used on Adzantick. No BKB just now. He could have went for the pulverized. Decides against it.
With StoneBank back up, I mean, to be fair, he doesn't have a Ravage. But you gotta be wary of not overextending yourself, especially not now that you don't actually have an Aegis to play around with anymore.
Ursa is level 19. He's gonna hit level 20 fairly soon, so even more damage from the Fury swipes, it's gonna be insane. What do you do? What do you do if you're bait now? I saw a comeback potential in the previous game. I'm not sure I see it here. What about you, Kips?
The thing is that the Disruptor, even more so than the Clockworks, makes for this sort of sheepdog effect where bait kind of has to stay together and will lose way too many kills if they go outside of this comfort zone where they can save each other. And you can see there that Dukalis with just a Glimmer Cape, a really solo style play there, trying to fish for an aggressive Static Storm to catch out Dendi. That threat's constantly there, and you know, that was all they had to do in order to secure the Aegis for Shad.
Second Aegis, again, TA lineup not gonna be getting it. The Ursa lineup, however, gets it. The scan was used by Violent. He was thinking about going a little bit deeper there to farm the enemy Ancients, and will be able to do so.
StoneBank has opted out of going for the Halberd, and he's going for an Aghanim Scepter now instead. While I understand that from a damage standpoint, like that is going to be the best you can do in order to empower Violent, right? You lose your survivability bonus that you were going to get versus the entirety of the enemy lineup.
That is true. Puck. Oh, actually, that's not a puck. That's a TA. Gonna be caught. The glimpse is there. We'll have the blink in a second. Won't be able to get it off. Forced after the high ground. Violent has actually put himself in a very good position, but Adzantick, he is not having it blink out. He'll be fine. And nicely done again. Bait with these moves on two parts of the map. Last time it was Mary baiting it. And okay, Mary dies. It's just tradition, it seems.
Yeah. That's alright though, that is a huge win. That was an Aegis push coming for your tier 2 towers and then after most likely directly into your base. Instead everybody backs off, you get 2 support kills. That is quite a long stay of execution for just a single Phoenix.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. To support viewers, delay the Aegis even more. It will be out for another 3.5 minutes, so Team Tickles, they have something to work with. They know where StoneBank is. Does the Ursa want to go in? Yes, he does. He jumps onto the Tidehunter. The Enrage hasn't been used just yet, but there will be an anchor keeping him away. Ursa dead in the water, but not really dead.
Not for that long at least. I like that he's got that shard at the ready now though, in order to make sure that you can at least disengage from some of these heroes from Team Tickles, because what all three of them are really good at is sticking on top of their targets. But they do not want to be attacking anybody else than their targets while they're doing so. So the dead in the water, it's not going to do anything for you offensively. You're not chasing down anybody with that, getting any more kills, but you might just save a teammate in a team fight.
That is a nice thing to have. TA didn't get the shard in this game. Why? Why is he dodging it? Is it because there's 3 BKBs on the other side? I still see a lot of value in that shard in every game.
And I do so as well. I'm guessing that it is because there's now 3 shards over on the rest of his team, and it's probably 50-50 to get it from Tormentor, but then you gotta take a Tormentor at some point.
True. Fiends drip onto Adzantick. They're gonna try to kill him. The swap will be there just in time. He even dodges the Ravage. The Glimmer Cape protecting him as well. Shad going onto the Phoenix without the egg. He cannot survive. And the Tidehunter will be next on the menu for the Ursa. A Flaming Bird, a Watermelon. Shad more than happy to take him all down.
So yeah, look at how little damage Violent gets to put in the way there. To be fair, he's level 20 himself now as well. He's got the Melt Dispel. He is certainly not the easiest to take down here for Tickles either, but they're gonna try.
Oh, they're gonna be going in. The stun does connect as well. He doesn't have the refraction charges, but has the Hurricane Pike away. Still, the glimpse was ready right into the Static Storm. He has the buyback, but using it now, it will be so detrimental to your item progression. But not using it, it will be detrimental to your base.
It will be indeed. And now I'm wondering if we're going to get to see this Tidehunter Aghanim Scepter at all.
Yeah, is he ever gonna be finishing it off? Shad goes in, the glyph is there. They will be protecting their axes still, but the illusions will be left there by Boom, and they should be more than enough to take it down. The sleep is there. Shad, he finds his courage to go forward. He still has the Aegis. No reason not to go for it, as they're going for the push. They want this buyback from the TA or another lane of racks.
I imagine the bait are just going to stall for this. There's no way they're going to buy back on the TA. They need every single cent they can get on her. And I don't know, maybe Tide just sell some items, get that Ags up. Yep, there we go.
Oh, there's now a butterfly on the Razor as well. Puck goes in. The game freezes there for a second as everybody gets silenced up. Yeah, it wasn't only you.
That scared me.
Okay,
Wasn't only you, only me, or only Shad.
Ursa in the air, slept as well, but his teammates doing a good job at taking the Raxes down, the TA back. And that is gonna be enough for Team Tickles. They pretty much got what they came for, and the second egg is more than successful.
And now it's really all about holding for the side of bait, and they can't really split push their way out of this one. They don't have a Nature's Prophet this time. There is a Disruptor constantly waiting with the Static Storm still at the ready. This is going to be the one fight. Aegis time's out.
Yes, timeout, but they're not done. They're gonna be going in onto the Tidehunter. The range is gonna be used, and the Phoenix almost dies. He gets the Yules up to dodge the magic missile. Glimpse onto StoneBank. He doesn't have the Ravage, doesn't have his life. The egg will be used, and immediately Boom gets it down. So much attack speed on these heroes. Dendi has been caught as well. He does have the patience, but can he get himself out of this one alive? The answer will be a quick no. Boom. He gets a triple, and Bait, they only have buyback on the 2 heroes, plus the egg isn't available. Win probability very low still. No creeps, so Bait, at least that part, they're still doing amazingly well.
Yeah, their creep management has been out of this world for the entirety of the series, but you know, there's something slightly more dangerous than creeps, and they are currently knocking on your racks without the Ursa even being there, mind you. Like, Shad's just showing on top wave.
Yep. He knows when he's not really needed. Dendi, he does get the shard, but he needs so much more farm. The Aghanim Scepter, Mjolnir, Rapier, those are the items that he needs, and he's dreaming of his previous puck games where he could afford it. In this one, it's going to be impossible.
It is. There's just one outer tower standing between Team Tickles and the Mega Creeps, I would say. And the TA, well, she's going to finish off the Silver Edge here at least, so, you know, Bait is going to be as geared up as they can possibly be in this game for the last try.
Boots are bearing on the Venge, so the slow is really not going to be that big of a deal. The Link is going to be broken on the puck, running in. Primal Beast not going to be doing that much as the Fiend's Drift does connect. They're gonna go with the Ravage, nobody to protect him, but he's still alive. Adzantick uses the uproar, the extra armor is there. Buck in the backlines, trying to get the kill, not gonna be happening. Boom, though, he just runs in and gets the kill easily, and the puck does die as well. Boom is killing all of them in the backlines. It's violent. He goes for the invis. There will be invincible for now. The buyback's coming out. They have to fight Bait. They know this is the last lane of racks, last hurrah for them to stay in the Pinnacle Cup Malta Vibes 3 and get themselves into the grand finals. They want to see the beaches of Malta, but they're so far away right now. Putting your feet into that nice salty water. Bait, they are seeing it being taken away.
And my dream of seeing the Dendi vacation pics also gone. Oh well.
Oh, 0% win probability. Very rarely does Dota Plus put this kind of a verdict, but Bait, you have no chance. The Lord has spoken, and Gaben has given their blessing for Team Tickles to go into the second grand finals of the Pinnacle Cup Malta Vibes in succession. Last time they lost quite easily versus Luna Galaxy, but this time around, luckily, there was a team that dealt with them already, so they might have an easier time.
It might indeed, especially... Yeah, no bashes onto Dendi here, though. He was not born yesterday, Shad. Good guess, that was where the orb was going.
Yep. But Dendi is out. Shad waiting for Roche. It's not going to be up for another 2 minutes, so it will be a dire side Roche. So he's in a good spot right now, though violent. He's still coming out of his base despite the mega creeps. The rest of his teammates, though, not that great at dealing with him.
No, and this is really all about only risking the hero that you actually have buyback on, because Violent is the only one who can actually buy his way back into the game at this point.
Did everybody else use their buyback?
A lot of them are bought up.
Okay, the Tidehunter will have his in 400 gold, but the support and the puck. Yep, Shad,
Today
he
is
warned
a
them.
cursed day to be playing computer games, apparently.
Seems to be a cursed day. A lot more curses here towards bait though, as now there's gonna be an Aghanim Scepter on the
You know this
Primal
bird
Beast.
here? This bird
Which bird?
cooked.
I don't know what you're talking about. I see no bird. I only see ashes.
Beginning of the end. I mean, to be fair, the beginning of the end is a long time ago. In a lot of ways. And we're going to see one more Ravage, one more Coil to hold your throne.
Let's go, though. Yeah, as you mentioned, not the beginning of the end any longer. It's just the apocalypse at the doors of bait, but they're not giving up. They're still dreaming of Malta. They're still dreaming of staying in this one. Tier 4 dropping down, now even further away from your dream. Another tier 4 dropping down as well. Violent, he did kill that mega creep, at least something. StoneBank, think about running in. Come on, bait, you have to do it. The Ravage will connect onto 3 heroes. Adzantick not gonna be caught by it, and nobody is even committing. Violent, he's a coward. The Manon will be swapped in, and some side blades coming in, not gonna be happening. They pull him, and they crush him. The puck is still alive, though Dendi will be slain in his own fountain. And it will be Team Tickles that get the victory and get themselves into the best of 5 grand finals, which will be played tomorrow from 18 CST.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense that ultimately